still, struggling to signal their level of commitment. The listener needs to know if this is just a wish or a confirmed booking.
So our goal today, based on the notes and articles you shared, is to cut right through that noise. We're taking a deep dive into this specific confusion to figure out the single core ingredient that separates a flexible personal plan from a fixed committed arrangement.
Right.
We really need to nail this key concept of arrangement versus intention.
What's fascinating here is that the choice of tense doesn't just give information. It actually conveys status. The choice tells the listener not just what will happen, but how committed the speaker is.
And if others are involved.
And crucially, if other people are involved, or if it depends on outside factors. It's a linguistic way of signaling that, yes, preparation has happened and there's a shared certainty.
Okay, let's unpack this. We should probably start with the heavyweight champion of certainty, the present continuous for future plans.
Yeah, let's do that. When we look at the source material, the rule is it's surprisingly precise. We use the present continuous to talk about the future when we've decided on a time and a place with other people.
Oh.
Or if some kind of significant external preparation has happened, it stops being a wish and becomes, well, an arrangement.
I like to think of it as the social contract tense. It implies that two or more people have agreed to this event.
Right.
And that makes it much harder to back out of. The prep is done. You've basically sealed the deal.
That's a perfect way to put it. The second source you sent over defines an arrangement as suggesting that more than one person is aware of the event and that some preparation has already happened.
So that shared knowledge is the secret sauce.
It is. It's everything.
And usually, to make sure you don't confuse this future plan with an action happening right this second, you need that future time expression.
Oh, absolutely. Things like next week, on Friday, or at 7.
Yeah.
Let's look at some examples that make this really clear. If you say, I'm meeting Sally at 7, what does that instantly tell the listener?
It means I've called Sally, we've probably agreed on a place, and that time is blocked out in both our calendars. We both know about it. If I had just said, I'm going to meet Sally sometime this week, the listener wouldn't even know if Sally was aware of my plan.
Exactly. The present continuous, the PC, it removes all that ambiguity. Think about travel. I'm flying to New York tomorrow morning.
The implication there is undeniable.
It is. The ticket is bought. The flight time is confirmed. All the preparation is complete. You just wouldn't use that tense if you hadn't even checked flight prices yet.
And it doesn't always have to be two people, right? It can just be external organization, like I'm taking the 7:30 train.
Perfect example. The train schedule is fixed. Your decision to be on it is fixed, and you've almost certainly bought the ticket. It's a commitment you've made against an external schedule.
The commitment level is the key. You brought up a fantastic example from the sources. We're getting married next July.
Right.
That is not just an intention. That requires a venue, a booking, a caterer, invitations. It's a huge logistical arrangement.
It is the ultimate arrangement, really. And the sources point out that the PC for future arrangements is overwhelmingly common with, verbs of traveling and social stuff.
Like, I'm playing golf with Jack next Saturday.
Yes, Jack knows. The tea time is booked. It's happening.
We see this in professional settings, too. If a manager announces, we're having a staff meeting next Monday.
That signals the calendar invites have gone out, the agenda's probably ready, and everyone is expected to be there. It's a known, fixed arrangement for the whole team.
So, just a quick sidebar for our A2 learners. One source flagged the special use of the verb seeing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
If you use it in the continuous form, like, is she seeing him tomorrow? It almost always means meeting. It's functioning as an arrangement verb. The meeting is set.
That's an excellent nuance to pick up on. And this brings us right to the core conflict because, well, sometimes both forms seem to work.
Right.
You could say, I'm leaving very early tomorrow, or I'm going to leave very early tomorrow. How do we explain the difference there when the meaning feels so close?
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. You can often use either one, but the choice you make shifts the emphasis. And that shift is all about your mindset as the speaker.
So if you choose the present continuous, you're emphasizing the arrangements, the fixed time, the external stuff.
Yeah, the commitments.
But if you choose be going to, you're emphasizing your internal intention, your personal goal or decision.
Cool, wait, let me just challenge that for a second. If I say, I'm going to leave early tomorrow, I still might have a very clear plan in my head. I've decided to set my alarm for 5 a.m. It feels like an intention, but it's still a fixed time in my personal world.
That is the perfect scenario for confusion. And here's the subtle answer. When you use the going to, Even if you have a strong personal plan, you're signaling to the listener that the commitment is internal.
I see.
It's your own decision. It's not a necessity forced on you by an external thing or a shared agreement.
So the moment I say, I'm leaving at 8 tomorrow because my ride is coming, I've now introduced that external party.
And the PC becomes the most natural choice.
The emphasis just shifts from my desire to the external necessity.
Precisely. Let's use the classic example from the textbooks.
Yeah.
Studying. If your focus is purely on intention, you'd say, I'm going to study for the exams tomorrow.
That's a plan, an objective, a decision I maybe made 5 minutes ago. But it doesn't imply I've, reserved a spot at the library or told my roommate to be quiet.
Right. Now, contrast that with, I'm studying with Liam at the library tomorrow evening.
Now you've used the present continuous and the whole image changes.
Instantly. Liam is involved. The library location is set. The time is fixed. It's a proper arrangement. The preparation agreeing on the time and the partner is done.
Okay, let's use that other great scenario from the sources. The dirty car. It's so relatable. If someone says, hey, your car is filthy, your immediate, purely internal response is, I know, I'm going to wash it tomorrow.
Yes. You haven't picked up the phone to book the car wash. You haven't bought the soap. It's just your commitment to yourself.
That really drives the difference home. The critical takeaway for the A2 learner is probably this. If your plan is entirely personal and doesn't involve specific times, tickets, or other people,
then going to is the safer choice. It acknowledges your personal commitment without implying there's some external arrangement that might not even exist yet.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, now, to really lock this in this whole arrangement versus intention idea, we have to clear the battlefield of the other future forms.
Yes.
Will and the simple present. If we don't set those boundaries, the confusion just gets worse.
You're absolutely right. We have to clearly mark out where will lives. The sources are very specific that will is for decisions you take at the moment of speaking. Instant decisions.
So it's separate from the pre-planned intention of going to.
And totally separate from the prearranged commitment of the present continuous.
Give us that instantaneous example.
Okay, the situation unfolds right now. You're having dinner, and someone realizes, oh, we don't have any milk for breakfast. The instant decision is, don't worry, I'll run out and buy some now. That decision was made exactly as the problem came up. If you'd said, I'm going to buy milk tomorrow, that signals a pre-made intention.
So will is a spur-of-the-moment reaction, whereas going to is a premeditated decision. It's the difference between reacting to a broken vase and, I don't know, planning a heist.
Exactly. And that spontaneous nature means will is generally not for discussing plans or arrangements that were formed earlier.
Now, what about predictions? Can we use present continuous for predictions? Like, it's raining, so the roads are getting wet tomorrow.
No, absolutely not. The sources clarified that neither the present continuous nor the simple present is used for general predictions.
Okay.
Predictions are always framed with will, usually based on opinion, like I think the market will recover or be going to, based on current evidence.
Like, look at those clouds. It's going to rain.
Exactly. Or if a doctor gives you news based on medical tests, you'd say, the doctor said I'm going to have a girl. It's a prediction based on clear evidence, not a plan or an arrangement.
Right. And that brings us to the last critical exclusion, the fixed timetable.
The simple present. This is where so many learners get tripped up, mixing up an arrangement, PC, with a schedule, simple present.
We really need to nail the contrast between a personal arrangement and an official schedule.
Okay, let's go back to that staff meeting. We have to be crystal clear. We're having a staff meeting next Monday. That's the PC. It's a unique one-off arrangement that's been set up.
But if I'm describing the permanent, repeating schedule of the company, I use the simple present. We have a staff meeting every Monday at 9 a.m.
Yes. The simple present is for the fixed eternal calendar, not the specific action you're taking this one week.
Or transport. The train schedule is a timetable. The 7:30 train leaves promptly at 7:30. That's a programmed fact.
But when a person interacts with that schedule, it becomes their arrangement. I am taking the 7:30 train tomorrow.
So the difference is whether the future event is a scheduled certainty in the world or if it's a person's arrangement related to that certainty.
Exactly. And this distinction is so crucial for the learner because if you use the wrong tense, you completely change the nature of what you're describing.
Right. You either make a personal plan sound like a fixed institution, or you make a committed arrangement sound like some flexible idea you just had.
When you connect all these dots back to the learning goal, the path gets much clearer. The takeaway for you is pretty simple.
Right.
If you need to express that a plan is concrete, prepared, and involves agreement with others or external factors.
Use the continuous form.
Use the continuous form. That's your arrangement signal.
And if you're just expressing a personal decision and objective you haven't yet locked in with anyone else or with any bookings, use be going to. That's your signal of intention.
And that signals competence. It shows you understand the social contract that's kind of baked into the grammar.
So what does this all mean for you, the learner, in the real world? The next time you set a date with a friend, use the present continuous. I'm seeing you Friday evening. You're confidently signaling that this is a shared, committed arrangement that's already confirmed.
And that confidence really changes how people interact with you.
We've seen that switching from intention to arrangement is like a progress report in your grammar. Think about this final point. We established that I'm going to buy a new car next year is a long-term intention.
It's a dream.
It's a dream. But as soon as you switch that statement to, I'm test driving a new car next Saturday, you are now signaling a concrete arrangement. You've talked to the dealership, a time has been fixed. The transition from going to the continuous form is the sound of that dream turning into reality.